Hello, I'm Ryan Carnage, and welcome to my first ever movie blog. Today I'm going to be answering the question that everyone's been asking me, what is my all-time favorite movie? Well, I gotta say that I have a lot of favorite movies on my list. So we're going to go through my entire list of my all-time favorite movies. To start off my movie list, my number one all-time favorite movie is Lord of the Rings. Because who does not love Lord of the Rings? To me, these movies truly are a masterpiece, and they mean so much to me. These movies came out when I was a kid, and when I first saw Lord of the Rings, I completely fell in love with it. I became obsessed with these movies. So these are definitely movies that I quote a lot, and I memorize all the scenes, and I know all the characters' names, because Lord of the Rings has so many unforgettable characters. So in my hand, it's the DVD versions, and this is the extended director's cut. These are the versions that Peter Jackson wanted you to watch. So if I turn it over like this, you can see all three movies are designed to look like books. So following up with Lord of the Rings, we're going to go with the Hobbit trilogy. I know these movies got a lot of hate and they were a disappointment when I first saw them, but I still find them fun and entertaining to watch. So you can see in my hand, it's the DVD versions. There's also the extended director's cut, which Peter Jackson wanted you to watch. But like I said before, most people love Lord of the Rings and most people hate The Hobbit. So next up on the list following Lord of the Rings is a franchise way bigger than Lord of the Rings and even Star Wars. And that franchise is part of the superhero genre, and that is the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. But first off, we're going to do a separate universe, but it's also part of Marvel, which is the whole entire XMen universe. So as you can see here, I got the original X-Men trilogy. So I got all three movies right here in this box. So in the back, this is like their description. But out of all of these, my number one favorite is definitely the first X-Men. Because ever since I saw that one, I fell in love with it. So I watched that one over and over again. And I did enjoy X2. I thought X2 was definitely a great sequel. So X-Men and X-Men 2 are definitely the best in that series. And then X-Men The Last Stand, I gotta say I was definitely disappointed in that one. So following the original X-Men trilogy, we got the rebooted X-Men trilogy. So we got X-Men First Class, which is also great as the first X-Men and X-Men 2. And then we got X-Men Days of Future Past, which in my opinion I think is the best X-Men movie ever. This movie is just so good. I love how they brought back the original cast and with the new cast as well, all mixed into one movie. Then after that, we got X-Men Apocalypse, which I thought was alright, but I still enjoy watching this one because it is still entertaining to watch, even though it was disappointing as X-Men The Last Stand. Following all 6 X-Men movies, I only have the last 2 Wolverine movies, so I only got the Wolverine and Logan. Because to tell you the truth, I absolutely hated X-Men Origins of Wolverine. I thought it was so terrible that I decided not to own that one. So I only got the Wolverine because I definitely enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed X-Men Origins of Wolverine. And I got Logan because I think this one's actually the greatest out of all the X-Men movies. Logan was truly a masterpiece, very well done. As Hugh Jackman's last time playing Wolverine, he did a great job at it. And I love how they made it R-rated because that's what Hugh Jackman wanted with this character too. So following up from that, we got both the Deadpool movies. I gotta say, Ryan Reynolds, hands down, is Deadpool. He did such a great job with these movies. The first Deadpool, when I saw it in theaters, I could not stop laughing because I thought it was hysterical. And then when I saw Deadpool 2, I know it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still more fun and entertaining. It was a great sequel. So both Deadpool movies are added right here into my collection. So following the whole X-Men movies, we got the very first Spider-Man. Now this movie really means a lot to me because I saw this when it first came out when I was a kid, and it really changed my life forever. So to this day, Spider-Man is definitely my favorite superhero. This movie was very well done. Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, even Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. It was just very well made. This was a hit movie when it first came out, but this will forever hold a special place in my heart. So following up from the X-Men movies and the first Spider-Man movies, we're going to have the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now I gotta say, I love these movies. And because of this universe, I've been a huge fan of Marvel since. Like, not just Spider-Man, not just X-Men, but all these superheroes coming together. Like, from their standalone films to the crossover films. Like, I think these films truly are a masterpiece. And, like, it's so fun, like, the way that you watch them, too. Like, these are movies that I also quote a lot, so. Ever since these movies came out, I've been a huge fan of Marvel, so. I even go online to like check up updates for the next upcoming movie, so. And of course, I'm one of those guys that always stays and watches the credits for each Marvel film. So following up from Lord of the Rings and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, my next favorite movies is Star Wars. Because who does not love Star Wars? So as you can see, I got only the first 6 movies in the whole saga because these are the only ones I actually liked. I know the prequels were pretty terrible, but I still find them fun and entertaining to watch. Like, I definitely still enjoy Episode 1, and I definitely enjoy Episode 3. I didn't really like Episode 2 as much, but I still watch it anyway. But the original trilogy, from A New Hope to The Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi, I think this is definitely the best trilogy out of all the trilogies in the entire Star Wars saga. Like, when I first saw this as a kid, I was definitely blown away by these movies. So definitely I fell in love with the characters, and I fell in love with like the actions and like the stories and like the whole lightsaber battles. Like, this is definitely movies that I would quote a lot. So following up from Star Wars is going to be the Dark Knight trilogy. Now in my opinion, I think these 3 are the best Batman films ever. Like, Christopher Nolan did such a great job directing all 3 of these movies. Like, I love how the whole storyline is put together from Batman Begins to The Dark Knight and to The Dark Knight Rises. Like, these are definitely movies that I always quote a lot too. Like, me and my friends will always quote these movies a lot because we love The Dark Knight. Following up from Star Wars and The Dark Knight is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl means a lot to me. Like, when I first saw this during the summer when it first came out, I thought the whole movie was phenomenal. Like, when Disney announced they were going to do a movie about Pirates of the Caribbean, like, I was definitely excited for it. Like, I could not wait for this movie to come out. And when I saw it, I loved every minute of it. Like, this whole movie was phenomenal. Like, it brought back the whole pirate genre. It brought back the whole swashbuckling adventure genre. Like, everyone was blown away, especially Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow and will forever be. So I got the first film, and I got all the sequels. So Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, World's End, On Stranger Tides, and even Dead Man Tell No Tales. Now, I know the sequels aren't that great, but I still find them fun and entertaining to watch. Like, the first movie is definitely phenomenal. The second one is good too. The third one's alright. Fourth one is pretty bad. And the fifth one, I definitely find it's very entertaining. Following up from Pirates of the Caribbean, we're going to go with Jurassic Park. Now, when I first saw Jurassic Park when I was a kid, it definitely changed my life forever. Because when I was a kid, I really loved dinosaurs. So these are definitely movies that changed my life forever. So definitely when I first saw the first Jurassic Park, I think that one is hands down the best one in the whole franchise. Like, Jurassic Park is forever a classic. Like, everyone should watch this one once in their life. Like, this is one that I watch over and over again. Like, I know I have so many favorite scenes, so I got Jurassic Park, then I have Lost World Jurassic Park, not as good as the first one, but it's still a good sequel. Then we have Jurassic Park 3, which is hands down the worst one in the whole series. Like, I hated the fact that they killed off T-Rex because everyone think with Spinosaurus would be cooler. I mean, I was obsessed with it when I was a kid, and then I watched it again, I'm like, yeah, this one's not as good. The next, besides the first Jurassic Park, this is the second best, Jurassic World. Like, Jurassic World, like, brought back the whole feel-good of Jurassic Park movies. Like, this was something different, like, a hybrid dinosaur, like, that's something that hasn't been done before. Like, this movie is still phenomenal as the first Jurassic Park. And following that, we got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is not as good as the first Jurassic World, or even as good as the first Jurassic Park, but it's still a good one to watch if you are a huge die-hard Jurassic Park fan.